Imagine living your entire life believing you're someone else, never realizing your true potential. What if you suddenly discovered a hidden strength within you that could change everything? This is a story about finding your inner power and overcoming the limitations others place on you. It's a powerful reminder that each of us carries untapped potential, waiting to be unleashed. Stick with this story, and by the end, you'll see how you too can break free from self-imposed boundaries and unlock your unique abilities. In a dense green forest far away from human touch, a lioness was about to give birth. She roamed for a safe place, but as she lay down to rest, her time came suddenly. With a final breath, she brought a young cub into the world, but she herself passed away. Left alone and vulnerable, the tiny cub cried out in confusion and fear. Not far from where the lioness lay, a herd of sheep grazed peacefully. Among them was an older, nurturing sheep who noticed the distressed cries. She wandered over to investigate and found the young lion cub, frail and helpless, lying next to his mother. Though he looked different from any of her kind, her motherly instincts took over. She nudged the cub, wrapped him in her warmth, and brought him back to her flock, determined to protect and raise him as her own. As the seasons passed, the lion cub grew up surrounded by the sheep. From his very first steps, he imitated everything he saw. He learned to graze on grass, bleat like the sheep, and run from anything that seemed dangerous. His days were filled with the simple life of grazing, moving, and resting, without a hint of his true nature. His surrogate sheep mother constantly reminded him to stay close, stay safe, as he learned to move in a herd, always following others and never questioning. Years passed, and the lion cub grew into a young lion. However, mentally, he remained one of the sheep. He adopted all their behaviors, walked cautiously, and lived without a thought of anything beyond the flock. Whenever he spotted his own reflection in a pool of water, he never stopped to question it, assuming it to be just a trick of the sunlight or his imagination. One ordinary day, as the flock was grazing near a shimmering lake, a full-grown, fierce lion appeared on a distant hill. His golden mane glistened under the sun, his powerful stride cutting through the grass with confidence. This lion was on the prowl, and as he surveyed the land, he spotted the herd of sheep. His gaze sharpened as he noticed something unbelievable. A young lion, grazing among the sheep, acting as though he were one of them. Curiosity overtook his hunger, and he approached cautiously, hiding within the tall grass until he was close enough to pounce. As he leapt out, the sheep scattered in panic, bleating and rushing away in every direction. Among them, the young lion also bolted, running for his life alongside the sheep. The older lion pursued him, his powerful stride covering ground quickly. The young lion ran as fast as his legs could carry him, his heart pounding in terror. He kept running until he could feel the older lion's hot breath close behind him, and finally, the older lion caught him by the scruff and pulled him aside. "Why are you running?" the older lion demanded, his voice a mixture of confusion and authority. The young lion was shaking, certain he was about to be eaten. "Please, please spare me," he cried, his voice trembling. "I'm just a poor sheep. I mean no harm." The older lion stepped back, thoroughly puzzled. "You're not a sheep. Look at yourself. You're a lion, just like me." The young lion stared at him, eyes wide with disbelief. No, that can't be true," he insisted. "All my life, I've been a sheep. I eat grass. I live with the herd. I am nothing like you." Sensing the young lion's fear and confusion, the older lion softened his tone. He led the young lion to the edge of the lake, urging him to look into the still, clear water. "Look closely," he said. "See your reflection. See what you truly are." Hesitant and afraid of what he might see, the young lion slowly peered into the water. At first, he only saw the eyes of a creature he didn't recognize, but as he looked more deeply, he noticed the powerful features of a lion staring back at him. He glanced from his reflection to the older lion beside him, realizing for the first time that they looked the same. I'm a lion?" he whispered in shock. His heart beat faster, as if an unknown force was awakening inside him. "Yes, you're a lion," the older lion affirmed. "You were always a lion. You simply grew up believing something that wasn't true." A mix of emotions surged through the young lion. Fear, doubt, but also an exhilarating sense of power. He felt strength in his body he hadn't noticed before, a feeling of wild freedom and confidence. It was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing a part of himself he never knew existed. The older lion encouraged him to roar, to release the power within him. Tentatively, the young lion took a deep breath and let out a small roar. It was soft at first, hesitant, but with each attempt, his roar grew louder, stronger, until finally, he let out a thunderous roar that echoed across the valley. Birds scattered from the trees and the sheep froze in fear. For the first time, he felt his true strength, his real self. With that one act, everything changed. The young lion no longer felt like a sheep. He understood now that he had been living in a way that didn't match his true nature. His past fear and timidity were gone, replaced by courage and pride. The older lion smiled, watching as the young lion stood tall. "Remember this moment," he said. "From now on, live as who you truly are. Never let yourself forget." And with that, the young lion left the sheep behind, fully embracing his new life, his true life as a lion. This story highlights a powerful truth. We often become what we are surrounded by, allowing others to define our potential. The young lion's life reflects how easy it is to let our environment shape our beliefs about ourselves. But true transformation comes when we step away from those limiting perceptions and realize the potential that lies within. Just like the young lion, many of us may have hidden talents, strengths, or dreams that remain dormant because we have been taught to live like sheep, to stay within the confines of others' expectations. We may surround ourselves with people who don't see our worth, or worse, make us believe we are not capable of achieving anything beyond the ordinary. However, once we see our true reflection, whether through self-discovery, a mentor, or a pivotal experience, we can break free from those constraints. The moment we recognize our real potential is the moment we can start to live authentically as our true selves. Remember, the journey to realizing your talents and inner strength might require you to step away from comfort zones, face your fears, and confront who you truly are. But when you do, no one will be able to limit your path to success. Let this story be a reminder. Embrace your true self and live the life of the lion that you were meant to be.